Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, guys. My name is Jakar Zaman. Hope you guys are well, enjoying yourselves, having a fantastic Friday. All right. So today is Friday, Jum'ah. As usual, I have Jum'ah talks. Let's change this background. This background is a bit boring. Another nice. Let's see if there's another nice one. Is there a nice one? Oh, that looks a bit boring as well. Okay, but we'll do this. Yeah, so today's Friday, guys. Jum'ah to all of you guys. Hope may Allah bless your Jum'ah, accept your salat. And vlogs are continuing, guys. So what do you guys think of the vlogs? I'm starting to feel the feeling of a vlog now. I'm starting to kind of get more natural. I feel I'm getting more natural. I don't know if that's the same on your end. But you gotta bear with me, inshallah. I just gotta kind of get the bearings right. I was gotta get the balance right in making vlogs. Yeah, because the moment it's just all like, like a snowball whizzing around in my head. So what I do is I just make videos of just certain parts of my day, and then I say certain things as well. So I'm trying to see what is gonna work best, inshallah, inshallah. So ahlan wa sahlan, welcome to all of you guys. Today I have this new tea. It's called rose tea. A bit peculiar taste, but alhamdulillah, it tastes nice. And yeah, so I've been experimenting with the camera. Got my beloved camera over here. It's my beloved camera. I've been experimenting with this, and the videos I've been making, the last couple of videos I made, I actually made them with landscape view. Yeah, so the view is like coming sideways, landscape. And the quality is quite good, mashallah, as well. I was quite surprised at the quality. So let me know, do you guys prefer the portrait, like the long shape, the Instagram, TikTok style, or do you prefer having it landscape? Yeah, I don't know. You tell me what do you guys prefer having? I think for me it's better quality if it's landscape for some reason. I don't know. So for Instagram and for TikTok, I actually edit it so that it just comes out as a portrait. Whereas for YouTube, I did it as a landscape. It comes out better. The qualities, the lighting, the quality, and everything is much better. So I don't know. So you gotta bear with me. You gotta bear with me, guys. You gotta help me as well. Yeah, you guys gotta tell me what kind of things interest you. Like what kind of things I show that interest you. And would you like to see me go to places and eat? Would you like to see me go places and have tea? Would you like to see me with my friends? Would you like to see me with other scholars? Would you like to see me alone? Would you like to see me falling off my bike? All right, so let's have a check. Oh yeah, by the way, let me go on to, because Instagram, I kind of slowly building up a family on Instagram. So my Instagram family is going to be saying, what kind of big brother are you? You don't even turn up. Yeah, so okay. Is that in? No, it's not. Okay, let's do this. These are the kind of things I have to do, guys, for you guys. All right, so live on there. Welcome, ahlan wa sahlan, Habibi, Fresh Prince, mashallah, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome, Fresh Prince, Habibana, alaikum assalam, Abu Bakr, Omar, wa alaikum assalam, 0121. Hope you're well, my bro. Hayati, ahlan wa sahlan, mashallah. I like your feedback on the vlogs. Did you like the prawns one? Shrimp on the barbie. Shrimp, I'll give you a tip, okay? When you guys are cooking on your barbecue, right? You have to know how long to keep the meat on for, okay? This is probably one of the hardest things, but this is gonna make the food taste, or it's gonna make the difference between the food tasting like dog food and 5-star food. Yeah, to put it blunt. you need to know, like, it's going to take you a bit of time to get used to it, but you need to know the temperature. You need to know how long to keep it on for, how to flip it. So honestly, it's a long process you have to learn. But yeah, so the prawns, you only have to keep them on for about 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, not more. Otherwise, you lose the softness of them. And the Hanafi side, yeah, you gotta stay Hanafi in it, proper. Let me just put this a bit down. And Muhammad Mullah, ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan, habibi, wa alaikum assalam. Is it better having longer or shorter hair? For me, I actually prefer having practically shorter hair is better. I can pass my hand through, I can scratch my head. You can probably see some dandruff falling up, but I can scratch my head. Yeah. If I have a shower, it's quick to dry. Yeah, you don't have to wait that long and dry your hair with a towel several times. And then when you go outside, your head feels cold. I practically short hair, but I don't know, just kind of like having long hair is that kind of thing, isn't it? What do you think? How's your hair? Aisha, ahlan wa sahlan, wa alaikum assalam, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Love the blogs. Landscape, yeah? Landscape. You were saying landscape. Rashid, landscape. Hasib, yeah, eat. Restaurant recommendations for us. Birmingham restaurant recommendations, yeah? I gotta take out time, guys, for you guys and go to these restaurants and eat. I'm just staring your vlogs. It's too funny when you said this is like the cement to fix the wall. That was too funny. That was actually, you know what? It tastes like cement. Trust me, you just gotta build, inside your body. You gotta build your taste buds. You have to kind of convince yourself that drinking this is gonna be good for me. I just think to myself, what is gonna be good for my body? Let me just put it in. Let me just open this and let's put a bit of this in, and let's open the freezer. Let's put a bit of this in. Let's put this in. Hassan, ahlan wa sahlan, Hafiz, Hassan, Sahib. Sometimes I miss the convenience of having shorter hair. Mine is still as long as ever. Yeah, I think shorter, practically shorter is nice. Yeah, it's nice. You can like you put oil in there and then you like scratch it. It feels so good after a long day. So nice. Maja, how to renew intention for studying Alimiya, and is the Tawbah accepted even if you know you will do the same sin? So first question, how do you renew intention? Remember this, what is intention? First you have to understand what is intention. Intention is basically you're fixing your vision. So intention is like, for example, you're asking yourself, you're checking you come out your body and you ask yourself, why are you doing this for? Why are you doing this for? The stronger you know your answer, the better intention you have. That's in a nutshell, that's what intention is. So if you're working and what's your intention of working? What's your intention of driving a car? What's your intention of wearing these clothes today? What's your intention of eating this food? Or what's your intention of even making this video, for example? So if I say my intention is I want to strengthen my body with this food, or I want to protect myself from the cold and also look nice as well, then obviously, good. But if your intention is bad, so as long as you're not doing a bad intention, I would say the rest of it's good. That's the default. Make sense? So when you come into studying, ask yourself, why am I studying for? A lot of students, I would say, honestly, probably 80 to 90%, they do not know why they are studying. They don't even have a goal of why they're studying. How can they make an intention then? See what I'm saying? So you have to ask yourself, what do I want at the end of my studies? What do I want to achieve? Like, what do I want to be? Give yourself a practical thing. I want to be able to understand every ayah in the Quran with its meaning. That's a good goal. Practical goal. Go for it. I want to be able to know where every hadith is in, for example, Sahih Bukhari. I want to be able to answer any question someone's asked me in fiqh. Now, these are very long-term goals. So you set yourself a goal, right? So you've got Alimiya, you might say to yourself, okay, my goal is I want to be able to understand everything there is to Surah Baqarah. That's my aim. I really want to understand it. Okay, right, now go for it now. Then what you want to step number 2 is you want to break down your goal into small bite-sized goals. Okay, to achieve this goal, for me to be able to understand the entire Quran, what steps do I have to take? So these are like really serious things you need to ask yourself, honestly, very serious things. Otherwise, you're not gonna. You're just like in like a helium balloon. You're just going to let it go, and it's just going to fly away and end up somewhere on someone's farm. So you want to have a fixed long-term goal, and then you want to learn how am I going to break this down. So do this tonight. Tonight, Maja, get yourself a goal. Right, what do I want to really serious sit down? What do I really want to achieve? And that goal, don't worry about it. Later on, it might change. It doesn't matter. It happens. It might like meander into something else. So you have a goal, and then you break down and say, how am I going to achieve this now? Then research how you're going to achieve it, inshallah. Second question, Tawbah. Tawbah is accepted as long as at that moment you're making Tawbah, you seriously want to change your ways. You seriously want to change your ways. You seriously want to change your ways, and even if you do it later on again, but you're at that moment in time, that, like, for example, like 4 o'clock now, at 4 o'clock UK time, I'm making sincere Tawbah that I want to stop doing this particular thing. Right, that's it, khalas. Inshallah, Tawbah is accepted. Even if you repeat doing that thing tomorrow or the week after, then that's almost like you can say, like, you've kind of dug into the ground the peg, and that's it now. Forget everything before that peg, forget it all. Now just move on now. Right? So that's how you're going to do it. The idea is humans are not going to be, there is no human, let me tell you this, there is no human alive today that is not committing sins. Every single one, even the biggest sheikh unfortunately doing sins. Because that's in our nature. In our nature, we've been designed to commit sin. But that committing sin has been built into us because it's a byproduct of something else. And that's, we need to be able to commit sin in order to achieve the other things, because that's part of desire, and desire is required for strength and bravery and honor and values and all that. But the thing Allah wants from us is to go back to Him all the time. Tawbah means to return. So how many times are you going to go back to Allah? Loads of times. SubhanAllah, Tawbah is a powerful concept in Islam, but I think we haven't. What do you think? I don't think we've really understood what Tawbah is. To us, it's like when someone commits a sin, that's it. They feel as though that's it. I'm dead. I'm doomed, and then they continue perpetually in that sin because they feel as though there's no way out for them. They have to understand, I can stop at any moment and do sincere Tawbah to Allah, really cry to Allah, and that's it. Khalas, Allah will wipe away like a newborn baby, wipe away everything. Muhammad Fahim, alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. So if a person has a problem keeping passing wind, does he still have to keep performing wudu till he doesn't? Yes. So if he continues this for every salat, he has to do wudu. The ultimate goal is tazweej bint al-mudarris. Yeah, that's for some people, that would be it. Definitely. Ustad, the biggest thing I fail to control is lowering the gaze. How do I amend this? So the most powerful of this, your gaze is no different from your stomach. What do I mean by that? And no difference from your tongue. These are all faculties Allah has given you, which can be used in halal and haram as well. The thing you have to remember is there are certain types of sins which are addictive sins, and there's certain types of sins which are just one-off sins. So imagine like payments people make. You can make direct debit payments, where it says coming out your account, monthly payments, or you can make one-off payments. So some sins are one-off sins. If you do them and you ask Tawbah, khalas, you probably won't go back to it again. But there's some sins which are addictive sins, and these differ from person to person. Some people might be addictive to certain sins, and some people might not be. Looking at like naked women, for men that is, or certain types of women, that might be an addiction, and some women might have that as well, looking at men, naked men or things like that. So a way to overcome any addiction is you have to break the cycle. It's going to taste bitter. It's going to feel really bad inside. You're going to really have this urge to kind of go back to it. But this is what you have to do. The way to do that is those things that make that committing that sin easy, make it hard for yourself. Make it hard for yourself to commit that sin. So you have to think to yourself, if someone's smoking and they're addicted to smoking, what are the things that are going to make them remind themselves of committing the sin? It's going to be cigarettes, isn't it? Having an ashtray near you, being in a room that is filled with smoke, staying with friends that are around you that smoke. So you have to distance yourself from them, right? And you've got to wean yourself off it. Get yourself. So if you're addicted to watching pornography or these kind of things, you need to just, if you know that I watch pornography when I'm on my phone or on my laptop alone in my room, no one's there, That's the time where you need to work on that time now. So you can't use your phone when you're alone then. You have to make yourself, like I promise you, I'm not going to use my phone when I'm alone. Yeah, and that's basic. Or if it's, blocking some sites or blocking access to it on your internet. These are steps that you can take. Make sense? May Allah protect all of us from this. Hasib, do you mean someone has medical illness like Crohn's? Assalamu alaikum, Muhammad. Ahla wa sahlan. My brother Muhammad, my brother Muhammad. أهلا وسهلا. ما هي العلوم التي يجب على المرأة المسلمة تعلمها لتفيدها المستقبل لتربية أبنائها تربية إسلامية؟ طيب، فأنا سوف أجيب عن هذا باللغة العربية إن شاء الله. فليس لدي أولاد، فأنا ليس لي تجربة في هذا الأمر، ولكن حسب ما قرأت وما تعلمت من أساتذتي أن الأولاد هي تتشبه بالوالدين أكثر من تشبههم بغيرهم، فيجب على الوالدين أن يتصف بهذه الصفات التي يريدان أن يجدا في أولادهم. So in nutshell English, that if you want to do good tarbiyah of children or students of knowledge, what you have to remember is that students of knowledge and kids basically, they mirror their parents, they mirror their teachers. So you have to show them practically what you want to see inside of them. You have to be the example for them, in other words. You can't tell your kids not to smoke when you smoke. And you can't tell your kids not to swear when they see you swear, because they will learn from people's actions more than they learn from words. That's unfortunately that's the reality. Is it allowed for women to wear a bindi? I'm told only the red bindi has Hindu connotations. So anything which is like any jewelry, anything which is a direct replication or resemblance to a religious symbol, not allowed to, like the marks that the Hindus put in their hair, on their forehead, we can't copy that. The bindi, I mean, I assume the bindi, like the red one they put on the dot, is clearly a Hindu practice. As for the others, I'm not too sure. I don't know. What would you guys say? Would you say it's, if you ever seen that, you would think of the Hindu religion? During the Jummah khutbah, when the Imam makes a dua, can we say Ameen out loud, or should we say? According to Hanafis, you have to stay silent. You have to stay silent when the Imam is doing the Arabic khutbah from the beginning all the way till he finishes. Umar Muhammad alaykum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. Ya habibi, kayfa hal? Muhammad Ashraf, is it permissible to watch cricket? I wouldn't see a problem. Hussein, I want to be fluent in Arabic. How do I go about it? So you need to, have you studied Arabic before, my brother? You need to start studying. And if you have started studying, what have you studied so far? How does one overcome the fear of what others may think? Any insights? Yes, this is a very good, I'll give you an answer to this. It's actually a strange tea, looks like Coca-Cola, doesn't it? Yeah, you can fool people and they come to your house. So look, let's say, for example, I am afraid of what other people are going to think of me, yeah? So that's why, for example, like when I walk outside, I behave in a certain way because I'm afraid, what will people say? Even if I've got I'm doing my vlogs and I go outside making vlogs and I'm scared, what people are going to say, so I won't make a vlog over here. Or anything like that. The reason is because humans generally think that they are the center of attention. That's what we naturally think. We think we are the center of attention. So when we think we're the center of attention, we become more conscious about ourselves. And we think everyone's eyes on us. As soon as we leave the house, it's like everyone's standing in their front room windows, peeking. What is he going to do now? Let's see how he starts the car. Let's see how he walks down the street. Let's see how he is wearing clothes today. So this is a two-edged sword. It's good because it stops a person from acting in a lewd manner in public, or immoral way. And on the other side of the spectrum, it's also harmful to us as well, because what it does is it stops us from being able to express ourselves when the time comes. Yeah? Because when, for example, we need to speak up about something, we're scared what are people going to say. We're scared to give a talk in a masjid. Wow, what are people going to say? If I give a talk, if I stand up, they're all going to be. No, and if you really think about it, when was the last time you saw someone give a talk, made mistakes, and then you started making fun of it for until the day of judgment, until you died? You don't, do you? So that is the main thing. What you have to remember is people. Now, if people do judge you, let's say people are going to judge you. Let's say, tomorrow, I say to you, right, I want you to go to a mosque and I want you to stand in front of everyone, give a talk, a 2-minute talk I want you to give. So even if they do judge you, let's say they shouldn't judge you, right? Because they are not in the same position as you. They don't have the right to judge you because they don't know everything about you. They probably only know like 10% about you or 5% about you. So even if they judge you, right? And that's why when you're with your friends, you're more confident because you don't really care about how they judge you because they know you very well. Yeah? And they're not going to really judge you in a negative way. And even if someone does judge you, then remember their judgment is simply them expressing their own fears. I heard this once someone say, it's a powerful statement, that is. When you look at someone and you kind of judge them, that means those are the insecurities that you have inside your life that you're projecting onto them, and that's how it is. If you didn't have insecurities, like for example, like a learner driver, when you see a learner driver driving down the road and they make mistakes, you kind of forgive them. You're okay. You understand because you don't have the insecurity of that. So this is what you have to remember. Make sense? Which camera are you using for your videos now? So this is my phone. I'm using my phone here for Instagram. But for my YouTube, I use my Sony A600 or A6400. And that's the kind of thing you got to mentally prepare. And the more you go out in public, the more you do things, the less you feel shy of doing those things, the more confident you become. Abu Radiallahu anhu reports the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "By the one whose hand is my soul, if you did not sin, Allah would replace you." Subhanallah, bring people who would sin, and they would seek forgiveness from Allah, and He would forgive them. Subhanallah, powerful hadith, mashallah. I don't know where to start with Arabic reading. Okay, kids books. Ultimately, Hassan, start with kids books. Remember that list I put up with kids books? Start with them from the beginning. Just work your way through it. Can someone waive khiyar ru'ya in a purchase? If not, then does the contract become void? Example, buying something online without having a way. So according to Hanafis, you can't waiver it. As in, you can kind of waive, but the idea is like it only drops. Khiyar ru'ya has to yaskut, either by seeing it. So if you've seen it and you haven't said anything, or and this is, or the other is where you kind of sold it onto someone else. The tasarruf you've done. This is where Mufti Taqi actually in Fiqh al-Buyut mentions mentions a good point. He says that the position of the other madhab should be taken, I think the Shafi'i madhab, the Hanbali madhab, with regards to khiyar ru'ya, because according to Hanafis, you can even have khiyar ru'ya after many years as well, even if you've kind of like after many years having it. So it's like inconvenience. Is watching movies, TV series haram? If it contains haram, it's haram to watch. Alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan, my brother Muhammad Prairie, long time, my brother. Slave of Allah. Is doing Jummah khutbah in English bid'ah? So, in the sense, are you saying bid'ah as in something which was not done before, or are you saying bid'ah as in sinful and against the teachings of Islam? If you're saying not done before, of course, something new. But if you're saying it's sinful against Islam, then I wouldn't say that's correct. Yeah. The idea is, Imam Hanifa rahimahullah says, look, the khutbah is a dhikr of Allah. Because in the Quran, Allah says, فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. So by saying فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying here is that the khutbah is a dhikr, it's a reminder. So as long as you do a reminder in any language, it suffices. Munib Shabir, ahlan wa sahlan. Alaikum assalam. I studied Medina books, then Ajurumiyya, and then now Nahu books, but I can't still read books in Arabic and can't speak very. So okay, what you need to do now, Munib, is you need to start reading storybooks. Right? So start with kids' storybooks. Go into Google, type in kids' storybooks in Arabic. Start reading those. Go into YouTube. They've got these kind of videos they made as well. Go through as many as you can. You got to build yourself up. Remember, when you're learning a language, it's like climbing up stairs. Yeah, like if you want to go on the 10th floor, you have to climb the stairs. So remember, you have to go up. You can't just jump onto floor 5. right? It's not it's not healthy. And alaikum assalam, if one gets a treasure, will he pay zakat for it? A treasure? I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? Any chance you're coming down to London, High Wycombe sometime soon? I don't know at the moment. I'm trying to see if I can come for there's a fiqh event I told you in December. I went there in December, so there's gonna be part 2 of that. So I might go if I get free time. Inshallah, I'm gonna try to go High Wycombe. That's gonna be around about I think it's in about 2-3 weeks time. Yeah. Muta'allima wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. Is this live? Yes, this is live. According to your understanding, Islamic finance mortgaged. According to your understanding, Islamic finance mortgage. It depends. If you can tell me how the model works, I can tell you. So there's various different models. When people say Islamic mortgage, it's like saying British education. Yeah, what's British education? Every institute might have a different style of education, different syllabus. Does that make sense? So by saying Islamic mortgage, you're actually bunching a whole range of dozens of different products into one. After a long time, I can now understand some Arabic text, but I find that when I listen to Arabic podcasts, it's like they're speaking Farsi. And mashallah, if you understand Farsi, then that's excellent. How to bridge the gap, especially with Khaliji dialect. So there's no easy way, my brother Abid. You have to just listen as much as you can. Try to listen and write down what you hear. That's a very powerful, because what you do is when you learn a language, what you want is, your mind. You want your mind to focus on so not just listening. You want your mind to focus. So what I usually tell students is when you're listening to Arabic, try to write down what you hear. Pause it, listen to what it said, pause it, and then write down. What did you hear? Write down. And that way, what's going to happen? You're going to be focusing more on the listening. Otherwise, if you don't write down, your mind just wanders. Estimating fruits on trees, will he pay zakat? I don't understand, my brother. You got to be more specific. If the movie contains shooting, violence, that's stated as haram. No, that's not. Is watching WWE and UFC, if aura is being shown, if naked parts of the body are being shown, then you're not allowed to watch it. If the thighs are being shown, then no. Do you recommend reading storybooks the way it's done in Madaris, like analyzing each sentence? No. You got to read storybooks, just go through it. Read and read and read. The thing in madrasas is madrasa drains the shawq from students. Like they plug this pipe onto you and just suck out all the shawq that you have. And by the end of year 1, year 2, year 3, he's like, oh, I want to go home. That's what madrasa does. Okay, so okay. By the way, I'm gonna put this into my vlog. Yeah, show you guys how I do this. Yeah, just to kind of so you guys have an idea to my setup. This is how I do my wave at everyone, guys. You guys are watching yourself. Some of you guys are. Yeah, this is my Friday live stream. If any of you guys are on or you guys watch this, and this is me, as you can see, with the bald head and the white hairs. That's gonna be in the vlog, inshallah. See, that's what I do. So when I make vlogs, I just like record random things, and I don't know, you guys just like watching them. If a person forgets the next ayah for tahajjud salat, what should they do? Just skip the ayah? Yeah. So if you forget the ayah, you skip the ayah. That would be fine. Munizakallah khair, you're welcome. Is Qasas Nabiyin a good book to start? I would say no. Qasas Nabiyin, like if there's 10 steps for a student to learn, or forget 10 steps, let's make it 100 steps. Yeah, 100 steps. I would say I would put Qasas onto step between 10 and 20. Yeah. Actually, no, higher. Maybe like 20 to 30. 20 onwards. Definitely. I wouldn't recommend it to a total beginner. Like total beginner Arabic should not be reading Qasas. It's not the right book to read. I know in madrasas, for some reason, it's like they have to teach it. It's like in their blood. But what I would suggest, start with really easy 1-word pages. 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, like that. That would be really good. Can you please write? So some basic books to read. So so there's actually I can't remember what that link was. I put up once. Yeah, for kids books. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see if I can do a quick search. 6 stories, Arabic kids. Ah, yes. Me found it. Okay, where have you guys gone? So, kids Arabic books. There you go. My brother. Jazakallah khair. Nasir. Schools also drain the shauq of reading from students. Definitely. Is according to Maliki's aura on his sabilain. I don't know, Gonna have to ask a Maliki that. Sika wa alaikum assalam. Hasib, can we play video games that have female characters in there? Yeah, I wouldn't see a problem with that, as long as they're not naked or anything like that. Are matams permissible? So when someone passes away, people sit in the mosque with the family deceased. Yes, this is called ta'ziyah. Ta'ziyah is, so it doesn't have to be in a mosque. It can be at your house, right, where you usually do it for 3 days. It's called a ta'ziyah. So in Urdu they call it matam. In Arabic they call it ta'ziyah. So you can just be at a location. People will come for ease purposes and they'll meet you and then give you condolences. Should we take black seed as a remedy first before going to the doctor? I don't know. I'm not a doctor to tell you that. Plus, the thing we have to remember about the hadith, there's actually, go on Sapiens Institute, go to YouTube, type in black seed Muhammad hijab. He's actually done a whole video on this. Very good. I would definitely recommend it. The idea is that the black seed, how do we use the black seed? Where is it used? All of these things, we don't know. That's why we definitely should try to go to a way of treating ourselves before going into something which we're unsure about. Like, I never used to know how to use black seed. You still don't know. I just put it in some warm water and drink it. Now, if someone has cancer or something like that, then, or someone has a broken leg, then black seed oil is not really going to do anything for them. So for them, going for the medical option is better. Qasas is mainly vocabulary. Yeah, so I think Qasas is just put there because Sheikh Abu Hassan Nadwi wrote it and he wrote it for kids. I think the people just think, you know what, this is the bee's knees, right? Because, Sheikh Abu Hassan Nadwi put it. In fact, he didn't have any kids of his own. This live is an amazing set of start. Please encourage other scholars, students, and knowledge to adopt this possible, inshallah. And that's why I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that others can do it, because I'm not going to live for a long time, guys. I'm going to die one day. And then you don't want there to be a vacuum. You want people, other scholars in their communities to be able to provide. And I think the most important thing I always think is this, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. I think scholars, or at least some of them, not all of them, but some of them should at least be easily accessible to people. There should be, for women, there should be scholars as well, female scholars that are easily accessible to female scholars, comfortable to ask questions to, very knowledgeable. And I think in the men's side as well, there should be as well. And that is the way we're going to get rid of ignorance in society, right? Because a lot of people, they'll say, well, we've got internet and we've got all these videos. But you see, the thing is, that does not get rid of ignorance. Ignorance is removed when people can have a connection with someone who's knowledgeable. Think about that. I just do the first 3 ayat, Surah An-Nas, and not the rest. Is my rakat valid? Yes, as long as you read Surah Fatiha before it. Do you need wudu for sajda tilawa? Sajda tilawa, according to Hanafis, yes, you do. Do you need wudu for sajda tilawa? Yes. I want to invite you in our online institute online. If we invite you, could you come on for bayan? Inshallah. Inshallah, why not? Inshallah. What is Sabilain? Sabilain is the 2 passages where number 1 comes out from when you go toilet and where number 2 comes out from. I'm trying to be more politically correct here because kids might be watching. Kazmataz wa alaikum assalam. Can we rest in between a tawaf? Yes, you can. Rizwan, which level would you put Madarij al-Qira'ah? Madarij al-Qira'ah is actually, in fact, is very interesting. Madarij al-Qira'ah, Sheikh Abu Hassan quotes it a lot in his Qira'at al-Rashida. So I would say See, the Madarij al-Qira'ah is different from Qasas because Qasas provides history, Islamic history, which is really good. We don't get in Madarij al-Qira'ah. But Madarij al-Qira'ah would go, the 5 books would go from, I would say, would start from something like level 10, level 5, level 10, all the way up to level, I don't know, 60 or 70. Yeah, I think that would be its range. Because if you read book 5, your Arabic has to be very good. I actually give this to my students. My students at the moment have an exam coming up, and I've given each class a set book that they have to read, and they have to read to me and translate sections of it. Can we take is the prohibition of putting our feet towards the Qibla incorrect, baseless? So there's no ayah in the Quran that you're not allowed to put your feet towards the Qibla. There's no hadith, authentic hadith, right? But this is a thing that's based upon respect. The respect of the Qibla is a very important, it's a well-established concept in our religion, right? The Prophet ﷺ, he prohibited people from spitting in the direction of the Qibla, urinating in the direction of the Qibla. So we know there are certain things that are not allowed in the direction of the Qibla. But the feet, this is all based on society. If people stretch their feet out in a society where it would be considered disrespectful, like if like, I don't know, in your family, in your community, if you put your feet out towards, you know, some elder in your family, or you're sitting down and you put your feet towards them, would they find it disrespectful? If they do, then you shouldn't be putting your feet towards the Qibla, because you feel inside stretching of the legs in a particular direction will be wrong. That's the idea. Some communities, like, it'll be fine. Like in my community, I don't know. I mean, I've never in my family ever heard someone saying don't put your feet towards them. Never heard that. So it's a kind of like one of those things. So is making collective dua or putting hands up with everyone else. Now see that, and when they said you dua karo and everyone raised their hands and reads Fatiha or something, that is something which I think is more cultural, because everyone feels they have to do it. So it's not something established from the Sahaba that every time someone is come in the room they say dua karo. Yeah, ud'u. So this kind of thing is a more cultural thing. You don't have to do it. Popo is considered as non-mahram to us. Popos is basically your mom's sister, yeah? Is that your dad's sister? What is it? Dad's sister. Yeah. So in different languages, it means different things. So your mom's sisters, your dad's sisters are all mahram. Munib, Jazakumullah khair, ahlan wa sahlan, habibana. Is there any print, Madarij? I have not found any. I've been trying to look. I've asked some people to actually look in Egypt as well, but haven't been able to find. Is Ar-Rahman regarded as a verse? I know Thumma Nadara is in Maraqi, but if someone said Ar-Rahman and went into sujood, technically, yeah, because Surah Rahman, isn't it? Ar-Rahman, Allam al-Quran. So technically, it would be considered a verse. How about Subhanallah only with the takbir and hamd? Subhanallah with takbir, you said Subhanallah. Is that what you're saying? I don't understand. All madhabs say that between navel and knees is awra for man. Only the Hanafis say that is knees itself. There is ikhtilaf in Abu Bakr. There's ikhtilaf. Malikis do have a little ikhtilaf. The thing is, I don't like speaking about other madhabs, even though, for example, I can get access to books which survey the madhabs, like Mawsu'a Fiqhiyya Kuwaitiyya or Fiqh al-Islam wa Adillatuhu, these kind of books. But I never like speaking about different madhabs because I haven't read the books, and I can't do justice to the books as much as I could do it with the Hanafi school. Like I might read something in the Maliki madhab, but then misunderstand it. I might read someone, I came across some strange things. Some people say the Hanafis say this, and it's like, subhanAllah, I've never heard the Hanafis ever say this. So it seems as though other madhabs, when they quote us, they sometimes, unfortunately, don't quote us correctly. They quote us second hand or third hand. That's why I don't like quoting other madhab, because I don't know the full details of what the madhab actually says. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'll work at it if that's where that quote is that you mentioned. So I don't like commenting unless I've thoroughly found out from an expert. Why do Arabic people put the Quran on the floor? I don't know. I need to ask them. Can you recommend some actions to perform when visiting a loved one's grave? So you go there, you can read a bit of Quran if you like. You can make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And you don't have to make it at the grave. You can make it elsewhere. And that's fine. Can one do istinja with toilet paper if one only does the number one, for example? Yes, you can. Ustad, I try to give up watching because there's aspects of haram in there and I keep. How do I overcome this? Head can't your favorites, etc. Head and you. I don't know, my brother. Anyone can help Hasib here. Ustad, I have basic background in Arabic. I did diploma in it, but I am not fluent. How do I? So what you need to do, you need to do a lot of reading. Lots and lots of reading, honestly. As much reading of Arabic as you can. So you can read different genres. What do you find difficult to read? That's what you need to ask yourself. I mean, in the place of reciting the Quran after takbir, tahreem, one just says Subhanallah. And the sujood. No, Subhanallah is not a verse, is it? That's the thing. Subhanallah, I can't think of any ayah that's just ayah, Subhanallah. Who one says Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, then says takbir and bows. Yeah, no. So it has to be a verse. It has to be, because there's no, the fard of qira'ah is Quran, isn't it? So it has to be a verse of Quran. Shaykh, if we are a traveler, can we be excused from fasting in Ramadan for a holiday? Yeah. Yeah, that's what the Quran says. The Quran obviously says that وَأَن تَصُومُوا خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Fasting is actually better for you. As in, you should try to fast if you can. It's always better because there's more barakah in there. You lose out on the barakah of Ramadan. But if you're a traveler, for whatever reason you're a traveler, then you're exempted from fasting in Ramadan. Wa alaikum assalam. Saqib Mas'ud Saab, how can we practice gratitude and get rid of bad thoughts? So, the thing you have to remember about gratitude, what is gratitude really? Have you ever thought, what is really gratitude? What is being thankful? Being thankful is acknowledging what someone else has done for you. That's what being thankful is. How do you acknowledge what someone has done for you? This requires you to appreciate, like, what if you didn't have that thing? Think about that. So if someone has given this thing to you, think to yourself, like, imagine I didn't have this thing. That's one way to think about it. Another way to think about it would be that put yourself in their shoes and think to yourself, look, they are parting with this thing. So let's say, for example, they pay for food for you. They buy you some food and pay for that. So it's thankfulness. It's a bit of a difficult one, yeah, because thankfulness requires you to acknowledge someone. You can acknowledge someone else 10% or 20%, 30%. You might be thankful to Allah because He gave you a heart, but you're not 100% thankful. You can't acknowledge what life would be like without a heart. Yeah, how much would you be willing to give if you didn't have a heart to get a heart? Like, think of it like that. So to be grateful, I would say, it just takes time. You just have to acknowledge what this person has done for you. And the other thing is to get rid of bad thoughts. I don't know what you mean by bad thoughts. Do you mean like sinful thoughts, lustful thoughts, or do you mean just bad thoughts as in thinking negative of people? Can you listen to the Quran in a state of janaba? Yes. Sheikh, which madrasa did you study? I studied at a madrasa called Jami'atul Ulum Islamiyya, Banuri Town, Karachi. Studied in Karachi. Ya Allah, my hair. Thinking, I need to put some. My friend gave me some dandruff shampoo. Yeah, to try. I've been trying that, but still got some dandruff. I actually went cycling today, so I cycled it to work. I cycled it to Juma as well. Obviously, had my clothes with me, and my parents live close to where I gave the Juma today, so I just went to their house, changed my clothes there, went for Juma, and came back. So, I do apologize. I'm a bit sweaty, but cycling is so nice. It's that adrenaline rush that you get. Thinking about bad about Allah, like why the religion. Excellent, good question this is. So what I would suggest is this: every single human in their life is going to have like doubts in their mind, right? They're going to have these kind of thoughts in their mind about Islam, about Allah, about the Prophet ﷺ. It's going to happen because your mind is just a natural human. You can imagine like a computer. Just think about it. It's not a nice way of thinking about it, but think about it as a computer. And that computer doesn't have any restrictions on it. It just thinks of whatever it thinks. Yeah. Now, if Islam comes to you, your mind is naturally going to be very inquisitive. Some people's minds are very pessimistic about things. They first of all criticize things and then they try to understand them. Some people's minds are very sort of like, you can say, very dull, slow speed, 8 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, slow. They'll just accept things. They won't really kind of think about things too much. But everyone has this sort of like dilemma they go through in life. In fact, a Sahabi came to the Prophet ﷺ and said the same thing that you said. And the Prophet ﷺ said, that is Iman, meaning because you are now challenging this yourself, that means your Iman is functioning properly. Yeah, and he says, anytime this happens, just say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, because this is the whispers of shaitan. Powerful, isn't it? Subhanallah. And this is why Islam is so beautiful. If you think about it, Islam is just so beautiful in the sense that Islam, like, it doesn't put like hardships onto you more than you can bear. Yeah, it doesn't, because it knows what the limits of humans are. It knows what the limits of humans are, and that's why in religion, remember I said to you, La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. In religion, we are not punished for something that is out of our control. Ustad, what to say to a non-Muslim thinking about converting to Islam but say they can't, it's too restricted? Say to them, just act upon wherever you can. Right? Let them just put, as long as they've got their foot in the door, that's fine. It will take time. If someone is really searching for Islam and they find that Islam is true, inshallah, with du'as, they will come towards Islam. And then you don't be too harsh on them. If they have a lifestyle of drinking and these kind of no hijab and stuff like that, don't be too restrictive. Don't tell them you have to do this or you have to get khatna, you have to divorce your wife. No, just let them accept Islam, and then slowly, once they can strengthen their connection with Allah, everything else will kick in. I guess Subhanallah is part of a verse, and so is Alhamdulillah. So if you pick a word from a verse and combine it, no. So yeah, that's a good question. What the Hanafi say, there has to be an ayah, because an ayah is recognized. Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah's argument that they use is an ayah is recognized as Quran. That's why less than an ayah is not recognized as Quran in recitation. So when Allah says فَقْرَأُوا مَا تَيَسَّرَ مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ, we say it has to be an ayah, because an ayah, if you read an ayah to someone, at least they recognize it. Otherwise, like Maryam, said Maryam, Imran, yeah, you said Maryam and Imran, Musa, they're all parts of ayahs, aren't they? So it has to be something recognized as Quran in the urf, and in the urf, an ayah is what is recognized. Wa alaikum assalam, Ibn Adam on Instagram. Ahlan wa sahlan. Okay, guys, I am going to finish it there. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Tomorrow, inshallah, I will have my live stream. So make sure you guys tune. Exams have finished, or not finished yet. Monday, there's the last exam. But the exam papers have just started. So got loads of exam papers to mark. So make dua for me, guys. And this is also close time to Maghrib. So let's make dua. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive our sins. Ya Allah, forgive our sins. Forgive the shortcomings that we have. Ya Allah, make us people that you're proud of. Ya Allah, accept our khidmah of deen. Ya Allah, forgive all the shortcomings that we have. Ya Allah, everyone that's listening to this, watching this, all the problems that we're going through in life, the difficulties in our health and wealth and family. Ya Allah, cure us of all these illnesses. Remove all these hardships from us. Give us halal income filled with barakah. Give us sukoon in our hearts, peace in our hearts, tranquility. Give us sukoon in our salat. Make us concerned more about our salat than about our worldly material things. Ya Allah, help the Muslims around the world wherever they are, especially in Gaza, especially in Palestine, especially in Kashmir, especially in the Congo and other places around the world. Ya Allah, strengthen the Muslim Ummah. Give our leaders a strong backbone. Give our leaders a boost of iman in their hearts. Give our leaders skills of leadership, leading the Ummah, and make us people that before we leave this world, we leave a legacy behind. Ya Allah, those of us who want to learn Arabic language, give us a tawfiq to learn the Arabic language. Make us, by this Ramadan, be able to taste the sweetness of the Quran in Taraweeh. Ya Allah, those of us who are going through illnesses and hardships and won't be able to fast in Ramadan, Ya Allah, allow us to be able to taste the sweetness of Ramadan in other ways, Ya Arhamar Rahimin. Those of us who are afflicted with addictive sins, Ya Allah, save us from those addictive sins, Ya Allah. Remove those addictive sins from our life without causing us too many problems, Ya Allah. Ya Allah, those of us who want to study knowledge and are getting burnt out, Ya Allah, give us the shauq, the zeal to learn the language, Ya Allah. Fill our hearts with your with the love of your deen, the love of your Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And oh Allah, make us people who, those of us who are not married, Ya Allah, give us spouses, and those of us who don't have children, give us pious children, and those of us whose parents are still alive, give us tawfiq to respect and honor our parents. And if they passed away, Ya Allah, give them Jannatul Firdaus. Ameen. Jazakumullah khair. Ameen. Would a new Muslim have to repeat prayers they read without Fatiha, like if you tell them? No, you wouldn't. So because of a new Muslim, they've kind of we were trying to find the most lenient approach for them. Yeah, they wouldn't have to repeat. But from now on, once they know and they can read Fatiha, then they would have to repeat if they do it from now on. All right, guys, take care, inshallah. I will see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.